Well, we gave up this game at the start of the second half, and felt like it was a day-to-day that it was ours to win. It was ours to go 2-0 in conference play today. I was really disappointed with our upperclassmen play. I didn't feel like we were emotional. Didn't feel like we were communicative on what we were supposed to be doing today. Just thought that, goodness, had a lot of thoughts that I won't share, some that I will. But it was a disappointing day today because we went back on our heels at both ends of the floor. You know, we hit a time frame there that we gave up several offensive rebounds in a row, and at the same time we were passing up shots at the opposite end. I thought Lex was a real bright spot today in her minutes that she played. I thought that what she was doing aggressively and attacking the basket, that's what we should have had a team full of players that were doing. When Corpus Christi went to their zone, we sat back on our heels and nobody wanted the pass, nobody wanted the penetration in the shot, which we work on all the time. And it was a high turnover day for us, and I felt like it shouldn't have been, definitely in the second half, and it was just a poor second half performance for us. And I felt like we were in control of things the way that we wanted to be with certain rotations and stuff in the first half, and we just didn't keep that up in the second half.
Well, the last shot of the game down 3, obviously you want to get the ball to the gal who set the 3-point record last year, Christian.
Yeah, you know, we set it up. I put 4 shooters on the floor, and I was looking for aggressive. I was looking for a better setup, to be real honest. I didn't think it was a good job setting up to get herself open coming off of it, and I felt like we held the ball back in the backcourt too long to where it's a longer pass than it needed to be as well. And you really couldn't do any creative slipping off of it or anything because you're in a position we felt like we needed to go ahead and. We felt like it was going to take us long enough to get the shot off that it needed to be a 3-point attempt in order to try to get the tie in that scenario. And the screen was okay. I was surprised they didn't switch it, you know, and I felt like the opportunity was there, but then I felt like Christian waited on the ball to arrive for a second as well. But it's just, you just don't want to be in that position. We just didn't need to be in that position. And we would finally hit a couple of shots. We got warmed up, and then KK hit a big 3, and I think Christian hit a 3, you know, in about the last 2.5 minutes, and then we just... Jasmine Shaw hit a couple of shots with a hand in her face, you know, a couple of floaters that she was falling away. And Lex, I felt like for the most part, did a really good job on Jasmine today defensively. But Jasmine won it for him. I felt like in a couple of offensive possessions down the stretch with a hand in her face. But again, I just felt like we put ourselves in a position that's where we had to be in the last 4 minutes of the game. And that was based on the 36 minutes leading up to it.
It looked like some of the girls were hesitant to shoot the ball when they had opportunities, and they looked just tight on occasion, especially when you lost the lead, got down 8. Some of the girls just looked tight. Were you surprised to see that?
Well, I was, and I was surprised to see how difficult we made a zone offense look. You know, I mean, we would finally get the ball reversed, and we would have a wide open high post player with nobody around her, and we wouldn't make that extra pass to penetrate inside the zone, which was just an easy 8 to 10 footer. You know, there was a couple of times that we would reverse the ball all the way around, and then I'd have a guard put the ball on the floor. You know, instead of just making that extra interior pass to keep it moving and get their defense moving from side to side. So, you know, it's a team. We had a lot of times today that I know that our rotation had 4 freshmen on the floor with 1 upperclassman. And, you know, last year it's just, we haven't played against a lot of zone yet this year. But to me, players make plays. You know, at a certain point, you put them in a structure and you put them in a framework in order to, you know, move the ball, have ball movement, you know, be ready and I think Lex and Daddy will both tell you sitting here too. I mean, I'm all about the green light with my guards. You know, when you have that open shot and you can pull the trigger, you know, you take the shot. You show confidence for your team when you take it. And today I just felt like down the stretch we didn't take it. You know, when it came our direction, and we were back on our heels in the second half on both ends of the floor, and that's why Corpus Christi won it. They were the more aggressive team down the stretch.
Alexis, you led the team 13 points today. Was there something different you saw? Where you seemed more aggressive today. Was there something you saw, or what was the difference in you today?
I was just ready to play today, I guess. I paid real close attention to the scouting report and saw how they were weak defensively, and I just took advantage of it.
Daddy, I know you know it's been a bit of a struggle for you getting back into form after you started the season hurt, but you played really well today. What was the difference for you?
Thank you. I changed my mindset. At first, everybody told me, yes, you were injured, it's gonna come to you and all that. I didn't believe them. I didn't use ever that I started the season like this as an excuse. I went and I worked. And yes, I made mistakes, and coach was right that we still didn't execute it well. But I trusted my teammates, and they trusted me too when they, like Lex, when she passed me the ball on the high post, or Christian when she passed me on low post. And that trust kept me going throughout this whole time. And yes, this would have been ours if we have took it, but tomorrow is a new day, and I believe and I know and I trust every one of the girls that we're gonna go out and this is not gonna happen like this again.
For both of you guys playing more expanded roles today than you have in the last couple of weeks, do you hope this is something that individually leads to a more consistent role, scoring a lot of points for the team?
Yes, hopefully.
Not today, but earlier games, your sister has been a big scorer. Did you know she had this in her to be the big scorer?
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Yes, and I'm not just saying it because of because she's my sister and my best friend. Since we were little, we don't have gyms that you can go to back home that's open for you. The only thing we got is when you go outside and you play with guys. That's all you got. And that's what we did. When I moved to another city, that's what I kept doing. That's what she kept doing. This is just how we've been pushing each other since we were little. And I mean, this is hard work. She waited for 2 years to get this chance to play, and now she's living it.
2 or 3 years, you said?
2.
Okay.
She played up for a higher level, like senior teams, and there, obviously, you have to be patient to get playing time. And she's been waiting 2 years. She's been working really hard, even though she didn't play. She went to the gym. And that's what we did. That's what we put into each other every single time, and that's what she's bringing now.
Coach, Sarah has fouled out only twice in her whole career, but it's been the last 4 games. Twice in the last 4 games. And it obviously handicaps you when you have to play the last 8 minutes.
Right, right. You know, we put Sarah in a bad, well, offensively, our guards are learning how to find Sarah still. You know, it's one of those things that last year with experienced seniors playing with her, you know, they just knew where to give her the ball to make her life really easy.
Sure.
You know, and you've got freshmen, and now Sarah's the senior, and she's playing with a lot of freshman guards, and they just don't quite understand when to get it to her at the proper time to where you can really utilize her. I thought today there were 1 or 2 contact calls that that were obvious that those were good calls, but the last one really shocked me because she just lost sight of her man for a second, and then just over closed out. But Sarah's just scratching the surface, I feel like, and I even felt like in our game against HBU on Thursday, she didn't have a shot attempt in the first half. Then she was 3 for 3 in the second half, and that's my challenge with her, is that she's an all-conference player. She just has to get more involved, and today they're all on the defensive end. And that's one of my frustrations. I felt like our upperclassmen let us down today. I think the foul out today by Sarah is a good example of our upperclassmen not being prepared and ready to lead today. They sat back and kind of just sat back and just let whoever do whatever. And they've got a specific role, and we didn't do that today. We didn't lead by example today as upperclassmen. So.
How do you find consistency? It does seem like the leaders kind of fluctuate from game to game in scoring and in minutes. How do you, as a team, find that consistency that you guys have been looking for?
Well, let me know. Let me know, because I would love to find that out. That's the question for this team this year. That's the question. We used the word consistency in the locker room just after this last game. We'll go out and play some great basketball against a Big East team, and then we'll come home and I was happy on Thursday, and I was really, for the most part, happy with everything but about 2 minutes of the first half today. But today there were a lot of surprises by our personnel. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that if we haven't done it in practice, we're not going to do it in a game. Let's not have surprises that shock your teammates, shock your coaching staff. And that was I even wrote on the board today before this game, keep it simple, and we just made life a little too difficult for ourselves at times today. And as we did that, we knew we were doing that, and so it just made passiveness set in. We leaned back on our heels a little too much for the rest of the time.
Last question for me, Coach. Thursday night it was Nora, tonight Alexa stepped up. So we're seeing different girls step up. How important is that going to be to kind of take some of the pressure off of Christian and Sarah, those upperclassmen, especially when they have days like, how important it is is it for you to see some of those other girls step up and have nights like that?
Well, I think when you're a freshman, I think when you're a first-year player, I think you get to be a little more inconsistent. You know what I mean? It takes an extremely special freshman to be night in, night out, you know? That's the senior's job. That's Christian's job to be consistent every night out. That's Deddy and Sarah's job to be consistent every night out. Jenny Bryan, consistent every night out. And then when you've got a flare-up, you know, like you have Dorka on Thursday, Lex has a very statistically good game in a 24-minute span today, you know, that should be a compliment to whatever we're doing on a consistent basis. And today, we needed a team of compliments instead of having a consistency run through our veins as well. And that's why we're 1-1 now. That's why we've lost our first Southland Conference game here at home. And that's a disappointment because, not about the record, it's a disappointment because we're not forging our identity on a day in, day out basis. You know, I'm happy with the way my freshmen showed up today. I'm not happy with the way my leaders showed up today.
Anything else?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.